So I've been playing Splatoon 3 since its launch back in early September, and I've been thoroughly enjoying my time with the game. I've 100% of the story mode, on accident, and already invested several hours into both Turf War and Salmon Run alike. So I wanted to talk about my experience with the game so far, and what I liked and didn't like about it so far, so I decided to break this video up into 4 different sections. The hub world, the story mode, Salmon Run, and finally, Turf War. And, I guess, Anarchy battles. But as always, this isn't your traditional review. I won't be fully critiquing every last detail about this game, at least not in this video, but something tells me this won't be my last Splatoon video. But with that being said, what up people of the internet, my name is Splatoon the Blog, and welcome to my kinda review of Splatoon 3. So first things first, I'm going to start off by talking about this game's hub world, Splatsville. That's where we are this time around, and it's here where we meet our 3 new idols, Fry, Shiver, and Big Man, who I've grown used to over the course of playing the game. Splatsville, however, feels way too big to me, proving what I knew all along, that size isn't everything. Inkopolis Plaza from the first Splatoon compared to this felt like the perfect size. Same with Inkopolis Square from Splatoon 2. You can literally stand in the back of the square and see everything at your disposal. Maybe it's just me, but I couldn't find most of the stores and shops around Splatsville, with it being so big. I even had to look up where Salmon Run is located. Granted, that might have been on me, but I think it comes from the overwhelming size of it all. It's in here at Splatsville where you can play the new game mode, Table Turf War, which has potential, but I don't see many people playing it in the long run. I played it a couple times, and it is fun for what it is, but in the same way Salmon Run is a fun alternative for those who don't really want to play regular battles, I don't know why you'd play this, other than to increase your catalog level. And speaking of catalog level, there's a new shop in the game that sells items to go in your locker, but I'll talk a bit more on that later. And you receive extra benefits, rewards, and vanity items the higher your catalog level is. I do have to say, even though I'm not a huge fan of how big Splatsville is, the potential it has for the future of games, well, for the future in the game's lifespan, is insane. There are so many inaccessible pathways and doors that can easily be converted into new eras and game modes, if Nintendo chooses to go that route. Like something akin to the Octo expansion. Only time will tell, I suppose. I guess all in all, Splatsville isn't that big. Well, isn't that bad, it's definitely still big. Let me know what you guys think about the hub world. Is it too big? Did you have trouble finding anything? Let me know. Moving on to the story mode, Splatoon 3's campaign received somewhat of an overhaul this time around. The Squid Sisters are back and they're accompanying you this time, along with Agent 3 from the first game. And around that, the Octarians are also back, but this time you're in a place called Alterna, which is made up of 6 separate stages with their own secrets and challenges. Unlike in the past, where some sunken scrolls and Sardinian were hidden in the levels, they are now scattered around the stage, only accessible by completing said challenges and solving puzzles. But possibly the biggest change to the story mode is Little Buddy, a little small fry companion that accompanies you in every level of the story. Even in cases where you are stripped of all your weapons, Little Buddy is still with you, and he can be thrown to set off traps, solve puzzles, and even distract or kill certain enemies, no matter how big or small they are. Little Buddy's main purpose, however, is in the overworld, where he can be thrown to remove goop from obstructing your path to the next kettle. Additionally, the levels themselves also received a big rework, as they clearly adopted the way of doing levels from the Octo expansion from Splatoon 2, requiring a certain amount of power regs to be able to play certain levels. And it works! We also see more of Deep Cut in the story mode, with all 3 of them proving and providing memorable boss fights and funny dialogue, adding to Splatoon's already rich lore. Now, I gotta be honest guys, I'd love to sit here and break down and talk about Splatoon's story mode, but there's just so much to talk about that I'm going to have to save it for another video. But the story, this time around, gets a certified fresh from me. And like I said guys, I did not touch Turf War until I beat the story mode. I played story mode for about a week straight. Non-stop. Didn't stop until I got everything, beat it, and the amount of stuff that added to it, with the sunken scrolls, and the ending, oh my goodness, which I did not capture for this video, but like I said, it would be so cool to go back and make a Splatoon 3 breakdown video of the story mode. I would love to do that actually, so let me know if you guys wanted to see it. But as far as stuff that I would like to talk about, I'm gonna leave it at that. And let me know if you guys want to see that video in the future. Alright, let's move on. Moving on to Salmon Run, and man, oh man, am I excited to talk about this. The newest and arguably most fun addition to Splatoon 2 makes its way over to Splatoon 3. With the biggest change being it's no longer on an open and closed cycle. You can play it anytime you want for as long as you want. Now, Salmon Run did receive a bunch of changes, with one being, once you enter Grisco, you're no longer in a long waiting screen waiting for your crew to clog in, but there's an area with targets and a golden egg basket for you to practice while you wait. There are a few new boss salmonids, as well as Fish Stick, Big Shot, Flipper Flopper, and the Slammin' Lid, each coming with their own gimmick and challenges. But before I continue, for those who don't know who Salmon Run is, it is a co-op game mode, where you and 3 other crewmates try to survive 3 waves of salmonids and boss salmonids while collecting golden eggs. The higher you progress through Grisco ranks, the more challenging and chaotic the waves become. You go from having a quota of like 6 eggs in the beginning to a max of what I've seen like 23, which is insane for any of you who's ever played it. Even the footage in the background should tell you me and my quote-unquote team are filling out other applications after this. Other new additions include the ability to throw the eggs, which has saved countless games for me, and of course new Salmon Run maps, a constant weapon rotation, and the literal biggest and most challenging addition to Salmon Run, the King Salmon, the Kohozuna. King Salmonid appears as a bonus wave, sometimes only after you successfully complete all 3 waves. You and your crewmates must attack him with your weapons, sub-weapon specials, and his biggest weakness, the golden eggs. It's important to note that competing this wave isn't required, as you can fail it and receive your rewards for your successful first 3 waves, but you do get a big bonus when you complete it. I can definitely see them adding more bosses and more King Salmonids continuing to grow this very popular game mode. And finally, we've arrived to the Feast de Resistance, the game mode that makes Splatoon, Turf War. Turf War is actually the mode that I've noticed the least amount of changes. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? But there are some notable changes. A big one being the cycle time for the maps and game modes being every 2 hours, unlike the first game, which was 4. And also, just like Salmon Run, instead of being trapped in a loading screen, you're given a practice area to practice targets, your sub-weapons, and even a little mini bot AI that's supposed to mimic your movements, which I don't know how exactly that's helpful, but it's there if you want to use it. In this same place, you have your locker as a new addition where you can unlock or even buy different items and stickers to customize your locker, letting other players know just how fresh you are. There are 2 new weapons currently, being the Stringer, which is a bow, an arrow type weapon, and the Splatana. Now, I did not gather footage of these weapons because I do not use them. Well, I have used them, but they're not really my type of weapon. They're fun to use. I've used them in Salmon Run and a few times in competitive play, but other than that, they're just not my cup of tea. But I know a lot of players out there are using them, and they really are fun to use. I've used both of them, and they're pretty fun, but not really my specialty. The best part is there's sure to be more weapons coming in the future, so fingers crossed for one that actually does catch my eye. Of course, alongside new weapons comes new sub-weapons and specials, the Reef Slider, Killer Whale, and there's a beacon that you can toss and it emits these waves that anyone who gets touched by them gets damaged over time. All are some of the best in their class. Turf Wars are still essentially the same, 3-minute fast-paced battles to ink the most turf before the time runs out. Same for ranked battles. Or as they're known as Splatoon 3, Anarchy battles. Tower Control, Clan Blitz, Rainmaker, and Splat Zones all make a comeback. And of course these games wouldn't be complete without new maps and new tracks. Soundtracks, that is. I have no idea how they're able to make music we can't understand. It's so amazing. Amazingly, it gets better every game. And if the past 2 games have taught us anything, is that there's definitely more on the way. I have heard so many people make the argument that Splatoon 3 might as well be Splatoon 2. And I can definitely see the argument, but also that statement implies that Splatoon 3 isn't its own unique experience. This isn't Destiny 2 or Overwatch 2 or Super Mario Maker 2. Wait, where's I going with this? Oh, right. I've revisited Splatoon 2 for a future comparison video, and I'm spoiled by Splatoon 3. It takes everything I love about the franchise and amps it up by 3. And like, I'm not sure if you guys know this, but the first time I've ever played Splatoon was back in high school. A buddy of mine lended me Splatoon, the first game, and I let him host Super Mario Maker because we both wanted to play each respective game. I brought it home. I didn't have time to play the story mode a lot, but I was obsessed with Turf War. So around the time I got my Switch, I devoted 400 hours at least into Splatoon 2, which I know isn't a lot because I know some of you watching this video may be like, only 400, but hey, that was good to me. So around the time Splatoon 3 came out, I was really excited because I was able to hop on it the moment it came out and, you know, kind of make my carbon footprint into the game. So when this game released, I was beyond excited. I'm thoroughly enjoying everything that is currently at disposal. I love the Salmon Run. I play it every single day. I love the Turf Wars. I'm not a big competitive player, but I do enjoy some competitive play from time to time. It's very fun. I've thoroughly enjoyed the story mode. There's plenty of reason for me to come back to it with the reworks that have been done. I think this is the game that I want. And like I said, after revisiting Splatoon 2, I don't think I can ever go back. I know there are some games in certain franchises that, you know, maybe the past game holds up better than the current one, but I just can't see that with Splatoon 3. And a lot of you guys that may be watching this video maybe agree with me that, like, this game has single-handedly taken over my life. And for the better, actually. It takes everything that I love about the franchise and thoroughly implements it as my favorite Nintendo game ever. I love Mario. I love Donkey Kong. I did a Kirby video a few days back. I love Kirby, but Splatoon definitely takes the cake for me. Like I said, I cannot wait to see what Splatoon has in store. Nintendo, I'm sorry. I love to see what Splatoon has in store. I love to see what Nintendo has in store for the game in the future. I'm very excited about it. Like I said, I feel like Splatsville's size is its size for a reason. Nintendo rarely disappoints with their news game modes. I'm not sure if this will be the last Splatoon game, but it is. I'm expecting them to go out loud. I'm expecting new weapons, new gear, new specials, new music, of course, and of course new game modes. Similar to that of like the Octo expansion that we got for Splatoon 2, which was really, really fun. So if it's anything like that, dude, I can't wait. I even theorized that Marina and Pearl might make an appearance in this game. The same way the Squid Sisters, is that what they called? So I had a brain fart for a second. The same way the Squid Sisters were in Splatoon 2, even though they weren't like kind of the main up front for that thing. Even though they weren't kind of the main idols, they were still there and involved. I was really expecting to see Marina and Pearl in this game. I guess they didn't want them to overshadow the new idols, which they're trying to get people to like, which a lot of people are. I see a lot of people standing over Big Man. He is my favorite. But I do love Shiver and Fry, of course. Much like they did with the Octo expansion, where we saw way more of Marina and Pearl and their history, like as friends and as a music group, which was dope. I would love to see more of that with them. Not them being just 3 other agents that we fight in the story mode, and by the end of the story mode, they're like, oh, well, you know, we thought you guys were bad guys, but we're just, you know, we're cool too, we want to be friends. I want to see way more of them, and I also want to see all the idols come together for one big epic thing, but hey, like, that's just me, a guy can wish. Making this video has been a bunch of fun, and like I said earlier, this isn't your traditional review, but let me know what you guys got out of this video. Let me know what kind of Splatoon content you want to see, and I'll do my best to deliver it. Are you guys enjoying Splatoon 3? What do you like about it? What do you not like about it? Please let me know down in the comments below. And yeah, yeah, guys, I'm gonna go play some. I'm gonna go play some Salmon Run now. Yeah, you know, like the video, like and subscribe if you're new. And until my next video, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. Thank you for watching.